everyone, Serenity from Witch's Treasure Trove here. This is day 2 of our Herb Day, Plant Day, or Crystal Day educational series. And today we are talking about rosemary. Rosemary, or the official name Rosemary Officinalis, is a fragrant perennial herb from the mint family that thrives in warmer climates. It looks like an evergreen shrub with slender, needle-like leaves that do poke you, especially when it starts to dry out and you're trying to harvest it and make your bundles. It does poke you, I know, because I've gotten poked by it several times. Rosemary, to me, is a dangerous one because I'm always hurt myself with it. That and a couple others, but we'll get into those another time. Or it could just be, me. Anyway, rosemary is a culinary herb known best for its earthy, citrusy, and peppery flavors. Rosemary, unlike lavender, it needs well-draining soil to avoid root rot. It does thrive in loamy or sandy soil, but it does need good aeration, and it can tolerate poor soil conditions, but it does prefer the nutrient-rich conditions. So throw some eggshells in your soil when you're prepping it. Throw some coffee grounds. Use coffee grounds when you are preparing your soil because it definitely appreciates the extra nutrients. A brief history of rosemary. Rosemary is native to the Mediterranean region. It has been used since ancient times for culinary, medicinal, and ceremonial purposes. The ancient Greeks and the Romans would associate rosemary with memory and fidelity, and Native Americans utilize it in rituals and ceremonies for purification and protection, and they also would make them into little sachets for smudging and spiritual cleansing as well. I've also adopted one of those ideas from the Native Americans, and I have created workshops where I will teach people how to make protection satchels that include rosemary and some other protective herbs, sage and chamomile and things like that. So I do those as well, but I adapted that from the Native American traditions. Rosemary was introduced to the Americas by European settlers in the 16th century. That's when it became more popular among the Americas. So we're gonna dive a little deeper into the medicinal uses for rosemary. This one's going to be a little bit shorter than my lavender was. I didn't have a lot of time to gather as much information as I'd like to, but it still will be informational for you. So it does act as an antioxidant, and it helps to combat oxidative stress in the body. Supports digestion by alleviating bloating and indigestion, especially when people have issues like me. I have GERD. There's a lot of issues with my stomach, so I have to drink a lot of rosemary tea, and I put some lemon in there and some honey, and it helps ease my stomach to help me sleep a little bit more comfortably. So it can enhance memory and concentration, which can help with cognitive function. It's been known to boost mood and reduce stress. It has anti-inflammatory properties that can reduce pain and swelling as well. And it also can promote circulation to your scalp, and it can reduce dandruff to help with healthy hair growth. Spiritual meanings and metaphysical benefits. I know a little bit more about those. Purification is used to cleanse space of negative energy, so you can use it to purify your space just like the Native Americans would in a smudge form. You can clean your environment with it like a detergent or a spray bottle, and you can just clean your environment, and that can also enhance your protection of your spiritual space, your home, and it promotes a positive atmosphere. So protection, it is believed to offer spiritual protection against harmful influences and entities. So not unlike the lavender, it acts as a barrier to deter negative energy out of your immediate vicinity, your person, your family, your home. It acts as a natural barrier for that. It can be used for memory enhancement. Rosemary tinctures, we make those with Witch's Treasure Trove. Rosemary tinctures can improve your memory and your mental clarity, which is perfect when you're trying to get yourself into a meditative state. You can take a few drops of the tinctures, or you can spray some rosemary water in your area, your general area. Sit down. It'll help you meditate and helps you get into that mindset for a positive meditative state of mind. Healing properties. So this herb can support emotional healing, including easing a broken heart, which we've all experienced a broken heart at least once in our life. And if you haven't, consider yourself lucky, because that's probably one of the worst pains out there. So it does help ease a broken heart, and overall it does promote an overall healthy well-being. Connection to the divine. So rosemary is used in rituals to enhance spiritual connection and communication with higher realms. Also to your ancestors. It can open up communication to your ancestors, your deities, and it can help you interpret their messages for you a little bit easier. You can easily do that by just putting a few dabs of rosemary oil on your wrists, your neck, your temples, your pressure points, and that should be able to increase your awareness and open you up to the divine. Manifestation. So it is also known to help manifest intentions and desires when you use it in spells or affirmations. So when you're doing your spell work, you can be carrying around like a sprig of rosemary. I always, usually have rosemary on hand, and I will do my spell work with rosemary. I'll either have it placed on my altar in a crisscross form, or I'll have it open. If I'm trying to absorb messages, I'll leave it open on my altar. It doesn't really matter how you do it. That's just how I do it. And that actually will help you focus your intention and focus your affirmation, and it helps to increase your spell work's ability to work better for you. So rosemary gives you the frame of mind you need to be in to make your spell work quicker, easier, and makes you feel more in control. So ways to use rosemary. We talked about these briefly in here. You can add fresh or dried herbs to food, of course, or teas. Like I said, rosemary tea with lemon is delicious. Rosemary on chicken breast, lemon chicken breast is fantastic. You can put rosemary in just about any of your dishes, and it can enhance that earthy and citrusy flavor in any of your dishes. So you can create a rosemary insect repellent. So everybody's outside now. It's beautiful, it's sunny, it's warm. Mosquitoes are a pain in the butt. So you can make yourself your own repellent, insect repellent, with rosemary and citronella. You can mix the two with a nice water, or even like a cinnamon or neem oil, and you can make a natural insect repellent, which actually is very cool. And it can also spray it around your garden beds, which is how I get like slugs and everything to go away from my garden beds. I'll spray some rosemary oil around my garden beds. They don't really like the smell of the rosemary, so they seem to deter more when I have my sprays down. And it's all natural, so it doesn't hurt my plants in any way, shape, or form. So you can always put an infusion of rosemary onto your scalp, or you can add it to your regular shampoo or conditioner bottles, and that can help support healthy hair growth. And you can use a tincture for that as well. So you can create a tincture of rosemary. Like I said, we have them at the store. So what I do with my tincture is I just put a few drops directly onto my scalp, and I massage it in, and it ends up stimulating the hair growth follicles to create longer, beautiful hair. Or you can also put a few drops into your regular shampoo bottle or conditioner bottle, and just use it like you would normally every time you're washing your hair, shampooing your hair. You already have the benefits of that rosemary oil or tincture inside of it to help with healthy hair growth. Rosemary bundles. So you can create rosemary bundles to burn during cleansing or purification rituals. You want to smudge your house, get rid of all that negative energy. You can create a rosemary bundle. So all you need to do is I usually do 6 to 8 large sprigs of rosemary, and I'll bind them with twine, and then I will literally go through my house and I will burn the rosemary and cleanse the smoke in my house with rosemary to help purify my space, especially around my altar, because that gets pretty filled up with negative energy pretty fast. So you can use that to cleanse your space, cleanse your home. Purification rituals, I will smudge my children. We usually use sage, but I try not to use too much sage because it is becoming more high in demand, and I'm trying to not take that away. I'll grow my own and I'll burn my own, but I'm trying not to use it as much. So we will, in turn, we'll use rosemary, or even like a bundle of rosemary, chamomile, lavender, things like that. Let's see. You can just place rosemary sprigs directly inside your home for a protective barrier against negativity. There's a plant jar or a planter right outside my door, and you can put large sprigs of rosemary, just set it next to the door, and that can deter negative energy but also help bring in positive energy to your home. I have them outside my entrance doors. I have some my back doors, and of course they're in my garden. So you can also place rosemary in a bath. That's another common way I use my rosemary, is I will peel all the leaves off of it. I don't like to bathe with stems because ew. But I will take the leaves off of the rosemary sprig and I'll put it in my bath water with my salts, whether it be my full moon salt or my celestial reset salt, and we'll put some rosemary in my bath water, and it'll help cleanse my mind, my body, my soul, and it helps me rejuvenate and refresh and rethink, re-energize my being. So that's just a few ways that you can use rosemary in your everyday, day-to-day life. So that's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you found this informative. If you have any questions or comments, or there's a specific herb you'd like me to talk about next, please, drop it in the comments and let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and if you know anybody who would be interested in this kind of stuff, please share my website or share my YouTube with them. Share my social medias. This stuff will be all over it. So just let me know, and until tomorrow, blessed be.